Hi, so this is Chris here from Auntie M's blog, and I needed to come up with a baptism card for my newest niece, McKenna. So what I did was I went to my local craft store. I bought this pack of 50 cards. I think it was like $9.99, maybe $7.99. And the folded card is 5 by 6.5. And so we're going to use this for the base, and we're going to go from there. So let's see what I can come up with. Okay, so for the baptism card for my niece McKenna, I decided to use the Indie Art card, which you might think is kind of bizarre, but it did have this lovely bird, and I always associated a dove with God. So I decided to go with the bird, and I'm cutting a number of different layers. What I did was I used this darker color, and I cut it out as the blackout feature. I took this color here, and I cut it out as just the regular button for the bird, and then I used this white pearly color with the shift key, and that's going to layer up here like this. And now I think I'm going to use this black charcoal and cut out a shadow. All of these papers have like a glossy kind of texture to them, kind of pearlized. And a lot of the papers are coming out of this luxury stack by DCW, and it's got some really pretty papers in here. And baptism's kind of elegant, so I kind of decided to go with some of the elegant and more fancy kind of papers. So let's see what we come up with. My folded card is 6.5 by 5, and I'm cutting all my shapes on my Cricut at 3 3/4. So now that I have all my layers cut, I'm working on, this is the shadow feature, and then I cut it with the blackout feature, and then I cut it with just the regular. And then I use the shift key and cut the wings. So now I am going to just glue this all together. And I did kind of use every feature that this card had to offer, but I think it did layer up nicely, and it has, you know, a really rich look. So let me glue this together. So you can see how that all layered up nicely. And I do want to point out, don't be afraid to use, you know, the printed papers. You know, these papers had kind of subtle prints on them, and you know, that is what I used in creating in my dove. So now I am just gonna go ahead and finish assembling my card. In hindsight, I'm not sure I'm loving the bright white wing, but it did come out nice. This luxury stack was listed at $14.99. I did get it on clearance for $8, and I used a 40% off coupon at my local Michael's, I think it was. So, you know, you can get some really nice papers cheap if you're not afraid to shop some of the clearance racks. So, you know, just keep that in mind. So I used my Cuttlebug, and I embossed this piece of, it's almost like a pink. And what I'm thinking is maybe something like this, with this, and then I have this rubber stamp here that says, God bless you. So let me go ahead and put this together. We'll see what we come up with. I strongly recommend that whenever you're going to stamp something, ink your stamp up, try it on a piece of scrap paper, and just make sure that you're going to get that stamp just right, because we're working on a nearly completed card, and we don't want to have to start thinking about how we're going to rip this apart if there's some catastrophic error. So yeah, just make sure that you ink your stamp up well and test it on a piece of scrap paper. I went back and I cut this anchor, and it's cut at actually 2 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and embellish maybe the inside of my card. So I cut this coordinating strip of of this green that I used on the dove on the front. And then I used the Creative Memories Victorian corner clipper to get those fancy edges. And I think I'm just going to put this right here on the inside of the card and put my message in. I used my Creative Memories silver pen, and I wrote my message on the inside. And now I am just going to add a couple of embellishments to my outside. So to complete my envelope, I cut the dove again at 1 1/4, and I glued him in the lower right hand of the envelope. And then on the back, I just did this Stimple rubber stamp in gold that says Rejoice. So here is our completed card. So I hope this has inspired you to create something and maybe work outside your comfort zone. This was the first time I really played with my Cuttlebug and so on. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.